What's up, guys? Old Man Sneaks here, and welcome to episode 8 of the podcast. We have another great set of guests tonight to listen and learn from. Tonight's discussion is basically revolving around SneakerHeads online community and running them. These guys, who I'm grateful for giving me the time tonight, are the SneakerHeads Australia Facebook group admins. First off, we have Johnivyn Stanton, Janek Stanton at Instagram. How's it going, man?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Thanks for having us on.
Cool. Next one is second time on the show, Micah Mclean, grking7 on Instagram.
Hello, how are ya?
Hey, man. And third time on the show, I think. Friend of the show, Oliver Phommavanh, or Oliver Winfrey on Instagram.
Yeah, great to be back, man. Thanks.
Cool. All right. So I think let's just go on to the tradition of the show, I guess, which is bringing out your LPUs or latest pickup for this week. Let's start with Johnivyn.
Let's see. I got these. When did these come? These came in, I think, maybe Tuesday last week. So it's the Rebellionaires.
Cool.
One of the members RA'd me these. That was really cool. I kind of liked them when I saw them, but like after I got them, man, like I think I might grab a second pair because these are just a really nice sneaker. Like a good beater as well. So good gym shoes. They pretty much go with everything. Slap some Ewan Slee laces on one and black ones on the other, and can't complain. Better than I thought.
Nice. Is that?
Yeah.
That's it?
Well, that's my latest one.
I think that one is weird, right? It went from being overhyped and rumors about it being limited to people finding out there's a lot of stocks suddenly becoming ugly. no one wanting to cop them. So.
And man, I'm so glad that's the case. So, because now I can grab a couple of pairs, and it's not going to, cost me an arm and a leg.
Yeah, it's a big win for us, hey.
100%.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's got like a great story behind the sneaker. So everyone sort of got on board, and then everyone just went crazy when there were rumors that it would be just 8,000 pairs, and all of a sudden the resale ran up. But yeah, I'm glad that like it kind of sat in some stores, and it was relatively easy to get a W off a raffle. So yeah.
It's good for us. That's always good for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How it should be, I think.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Micah?
No LPUs for me since the last time I was on. I think I was only on 2 weeks ago, so it's all the same. Still, I haven't picked up any more since, so you can thank all the L's on the raffles for that one.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Cool. Well, moving on to the next one then. Oliver, LPUs, mate?
Yeah, so last time we had a chat, this was actually with you, man. Like, I got my first Jordan 2. Was a kind of like a retail assist. It was an in-clothing retail assist, which is like the retail assist you're having when you're not really having a retail assist. But I'll still take it though, because I'd rather get it off you than like some random. So yeah, so it's pretty sweet.
Cool.
I will be the first to admit that I am not a Jordan 2 fan, but I do like Union, and I wanted to get the Jordan wheel of like Jordans 1 to 14, and so now I finally got a 2. So it's pretty cool, and I love the colors, so that is pretty sweet.
Cool.
And I also have my first foam runner from Yeezy, actually. So finally, after like maybe 3 years of like L's of the Adidas raffle on their app, and then all the other sort of up there store as well, I finally got these as well. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know, like it just looks weird, but I heard they're comfy, and they're gonna like get us some attention on feet, so I'm all for it. So it's gonna be pretty cool. The only question is, should I wear socks or no socks? That's probably the question. So
True.
I don't know, what do you reckon, guys?
I haven't looked that hard into it, so I'm not sure if you're supposed to wear them or not, because I don't think I could pull them off.
Have you tried putting them on feet and seeing the comfort level, or?
Yeah, look, I've put them on because like apparently you're meant to go like a full size up. So I went size
11,
US 11, and they seem to be okay. I could have gone maybe half a size down, but Yeah, but it still fits well. I think what I'll do is I'll probably wear socks, I reckon, because I don't think I could. I mean, being winter and all, I think I would probably wear them socks, and then maybe in summer, when I beat them up a little bit more, just go barefoot.
It's a good win. It's retail, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like I would never pay resale for that. Like this is just like I don't know what happens, but you know, people just keep trying to resell these, but I mean, they're just
Yeah.
bit of plastic. So yeah, that's cool.
It's good.
I can't believe people pay resale for them. They're just, I mean, they're hideous, eh?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Absolutely
yeah.
hideous.
I'm glad
There's
you
nothing wrong
said
with
that.
having like a hideous pair of shoes. Like,
Yeah.
you know, not every pair of shoes I have, you know, are awesome looking, but man, those are just next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I wouldn't mind
I
trying
mean, it's
them
definitely
for,
unique. So
Yeah,
I think
for
that's why I
sure,
got them. I
for
think.
sure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind trying them for retail as well, but yeah, no. Resale.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably latest pickups for me. So yeah.
Slow week for me. First one is the last Destination Unknown pack, which is the navy and
Wow.
yellow, or the under retail pack, the under retail gem pack from Hype. So it's really good. Like the material, it's consistent across all of those three different colorway.
They've still got pairs, don't they, at Hype? They've still got pairs, I think.
Yeah, they do. So, but I think they don't have those. They don't have anything over 10 anymore. Maybe 11.
Yeah,
But
I think
it's-
you're
it's
right. I
small
think all the
sizes.
big sizes are gone, yep.
And my second LPU really is the two-tone dunks, which is the gray and white dunks. Dunks are always good if you get them for retail. So the
Yes.
raffle win. I don't
For
like
sure.
paying resale for GR dunks as well, because
No, not with that quality, man. It's not worth it.
yeah, if you put it side by side with that Saucony, it's just it's no contest really.
Yeah.
So you'll take the Saucony over it all the time. So cool. And then I guess let's go on to your current beaters. What do you guys have been wearing, or what's by the door? Again, we'll start with Johnivyn.
Cool. So I got a couple pairs here. I guess the first one is my second most recent LPU. I guess it's the Forums.
Nice.
Yes.
So I got the the Star Lord ones, because like the OG ones are way more expensive. I picked these up for under retail off where was it? I think StockX. So it ended up being like $190 posted. But these are super comfortable. First pair I've owned. So they do make an awesome gym shoe, and just all around, like I love the like the 80s vibe it's got going on. So I'll probably definitely try and pick up a couple more of these, because yeah, it's a really sweet shoe. I know Oliver is a big fan of these.
Yes, it's my all-time favorite pair actually. So yeah,
After
especially
having
that
them
colorway
and-
too.
Yeah, after getting them in hands and wearing them and things like that, I can definitely understand why. It's an awesome kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of a revival with that style as well, with the New Balance coming out as well, with like the 550s.
The
very
650
similar.
Rs, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to, at least for me, to kind of style them at the start, because obviously I've got the strap across there, and I always wear them like with the laces undone. So I tried that, didn't really work, so I had to tie them up, and it was kind of a shit show. But I think I've got it down pat now.
Yeah. What's the way you sort of style them? What, do you put laces and strap, or strap and laces?
I lace them up and strap them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's only really going to work with maybe a certain kind of pants and things like that. Something like cuffed and a bit skinnier works.
Yeah. It
I haven't
has to.
completely figured out all the kinks, but I like them. I love them.
You have
Yeah,
to show
cool.
them. Like I think that's what I
That's it,
find with forums. You always have to show them up. Yeah.
And my second beaters, so he's one of my all-time favorites, and I just picked up another couple of pairs recently, because these are starting to get long in the tooth, because I wear them everywhere. Is the Chicago's.
Sheesh.
Chicago ones. So these are looking
Wow.
not too sorry. Like they're a bit creased. They don't tend to trash them too hard, but again, I'll wear them gym, or wear them to go out, go for a walk or anything like that. So one of the earlier pairs that I received. So this is probably one of the first kicks that sort of started it up for me. So I've kind of beaten them up, and these do need a good clean, but I don't know, just goes with everything, like the colorway, obviously the color blocking.
It's one of the
kind of
best Jordan ones ever made. by a long way. They're awesome.
100%, yeah. It seems to go with any color. You can match it or just have it stand out if you're wearing, all like shades of colors. Shades, right?
They actually look really
So,
good too. A little bit beaten up, like you know what I mean. Like they actually look pretty good worn in. And you're in luck because they're re-releasing those this year, supposedly.
I heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a
I'm
version
so
of it.
keen.
That's what they're saying.
Well, reimagined. I mean,
Reimagined, whatever
too
that
much.
means. So yeah, it might.
Hopefully they don't ruin it.
It'll be a Zoom version.
Yeah, so I'm sure I'll hit the L on those as well. I haven't won a raffle. Shit, how long? Like, I don't know, man. Not this year, not last year. So, like, it's been a year and a half.
Yeah, I'm in the
They're
same
pretty hard
box.
to get right now, hey. And you have two on deck. Ready on that one? Do you have
Yeah,
two
well,
on
look,
deck?
I figured, look, at the end of the day, the 2015s aren't going to get any cheaper from here on out.
Yeah, that's true.
And honestly, like, I want to be able to wear them. Like, these aren't destroyed, and they're far, far from it. If I was reselling them, they'd be a 9 out of 10 for sure,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I figure eventually when I do need to retire them,
Yeah.
I'd rather just have another pair on deck than have to pay whatever it is then.
That's true. That's really a good idea. I haven't gotten around picking them up. I find them too
I
expensive.
don't double up on too many kicks, so yeah, that's one of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Micah?
Yeah, nothing crazy. Just been kicking out in some comfort this week, so I've been wearing these. They're still in really good condition. I barely worn them. Like
New
you can see on the
Balance.
soles.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I've had these for a long time, like years and years. But yeah, it's just
They
an
574s?
They are 574s, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
577s, my mistake.
577.
Yeah, 77s. They got the end cap. But yeah, they're nice, just super comfy. The one thing with New Balance that I do struggle with is just the look of that toe box. I've never loved it. Like they
It's a
always
bit
look they always look better from the sides than from when you're looking down at them, in my
That's
opinion.
true.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish they would do something about that toe box. Like, it's just a little pet peeve I have with New Balance. But apart from that, like the shoes are amazing. Like still really good quality, and yeah, super comfy. And I got a second pair here, and I've just been wearing these as well. The Stussy Hirachis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which I just really like the colorway, especially coming into this like weather. It's a bit cooler. It's got like a nice sort of autumny look. So yeah, been really digging these and super comfy, and yeah, just nice colorway. Again, good materials. So yeah, that's it.
You're the second person that had that as their beater.
Oh, the
In the
Stussy
podcast.
Hirachis?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I
Yeah.
still, need to pick that up.
Yeah, it's a nice one, man.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so. I mean, basically huggable. That slogan. Have you hugged your feet today? Like it just feels pretty comfy.
That's the slogan?
Yeah, it was the initial like sort of gimmick at the very start when the Hirachis came
Oh,
out. So
right.
Have you hugged your foot today? Was like
Oh,
their,
okay.
their catch cry. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
but I can see why.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, super comfy though.
What about you, Ollie?
Yeah.
Current beater.
Yeah. So speaking of comfort, you gotta have all day beaters, and I'm a big Ultra Boost fan, and Ultra Boost DNA, the Goofy edition. So on a scale of like 1 to 10, this isn't outrageous on the Oliver Phommavanh scale because I like my sort of loud, crazy shoes, but I like it because it's kind of black from a distance, so it looks like an everyday kind of runner. But if you look up close, you see a bit of Goofy up there as well. So
Yeah.
so it's subtle enough, but yeah, these are so comfy. Like I'm a big Ultra Boost fan. Got a whole lot of Ultra Boost for the gym or when I run as well. That's my choice of runner as well. So they're pretty cool.
Cool.
Plus they're perfect for the rain. It's been like raining in Sydney for like how long now? So these are pretty cool for that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. Cool. Guess my turn. Mine is the New Balance 2002Rs. This is GR. They're very nice. They're very comfy. I think you really can't get wrong with wearing New Balance. Really. I mean, I know they're not the made types. They're not made in US or made in UK, but for a GR New Balance, they're really good. I think this is I'm have like 5 2002Rs now in my rotation, so I really love them. They're really great. Cool. All right. So I guess with the show and tell out of the way, um, it's again thank you for giving me the time. As Facebook admins in a single pod, I think it's a great group of people to have discussions with. So my first question really is how did the group came about? I mean, when was it started and who started it? And it's a bit of a bundled question. And what was the initial intentions for the group? Any of you guys can
I
answer.
think Johnivyn
really.
should probably answer that. He's the founder, so he started it up.
Yeah. When I started up, I have to get my phone and see what the date was. I think it was like, what, 2020?
Yeah,
Right?
it's
I think
about
like
2 years ago.
September, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I wasn't massively into sneakers. I had a few pairs here and there, but I, kind of started to delve into it a bit more. Got a little bit obsessed, buying everything I could find, and I just found that it was just like buy, swap, and sell pages everywhere.
Yeah.
And I looked and looked, and I couldn't find any, like a single page that was, just there's people showing their shoes, enjoying it, enjoying the hobby, posting outfits and things like that. So just started up, invited a couple of people that were also, complaining every now and then. I think Micah was one of the first. Like you would have been, one of the, what do they call, like a founding member, like one of the first 50 members in.
Yeah.
Ollie was pretty soon after that. And for quite a while, it was a relatively small group. And I made it private, with that kind of intent of it being a small group. But then, more folks kind of joined on up, and it went from there. So we still do, like, it is still relatively small, like in comparison, I guess, to what it could be. Like if you were to look through our, approves and declines when it comes to people joining the page, it's probably like maybe a 20% approval rate. I'd say like more, probably 80% of people get declined, just because, they don't answer the questions, or probably a bloody reseller, or it's like a too new fake Facebook account or something like that.
Yeah.
And then obviously as it grew, I needed these boys to kind of help out with that, because I'm definitely terrible at managing anything. So yeah.
Cool. Well, for those listening, I might be a little bit biased because this is also the first, I'd say, SneakerHeads group that I've joined in. And I think I was lucky. I was very fortunate to join a group that actually are like passionate about the culture and not just reselling. Because I've tried other groups as well after this group, and like I'm not active at all in those groups, and I'm not really fond of just seeing listings. It's not, I don't think that's what it's all about. And our group really has that sort of like focus on it's all about sneakers and people that love sneakers, and I think it's great. And I think the size or the number of members really don't matter. I mean, as long as you have that same group of people that you can learn from, you have that rich collection and diverse tastes of people in the group, I think it's really great. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Cool. So I mean, if it's been started at 2020, has there been any? When was Last Dance released? Was that 2020 or 2021? 2020.
2020.
Yeah. So that's when this sneakerhead culture really expanded a little bit more, I guess, when Last Dance came out. But during the course of 2 years, like, what are the most common observations that you're seeing in terms of like the type of sneakerheads that are coming in? Because I'm pretty sure, and I'm not looking at like judging other sneakerheads, but sort of like, I'm curious about the observation of the type of sneakerheads that are coming in, like the new and the old, and the collectors, or people with lots of money and just have that capability to buy sneakers and not even go through a hunt or those type of things. I'm just curious, like, about
I think, I think we've got, a mix of all of those, over the 2 years, that's one thing I really like, we see, there's a lot of like newer sneakerheads and they'll show off their collection, it's like 7 pairs, but everyone's like, super supportive. Like they go, oh, dope collection, no one's like, that's what I really like about the group, as opposed to seeing those buy and sell pages. It's just really not toxic. Everyone's really pretty positive in there all the time. But having said that, you get guys in there that are capable of throwing their weight around when it comes to purchasing power. But they're still cool. That for the most part they're in it for just the interest of sneakers. They're not trying to flex or anything like that. At least I find. So yeah, that's what I've found anyway. So it's a bit of a mix of people, I'd say.
Cool.
Yeah, I like the fact that some of them are like old school sneakerheads, like they've been around for ages, like they're and also different stages of life as well. So some are like parents now, some are like getting their kids sneakers or their teenage kids sneakers and stuff. So it's sort of come full circle. But I just love it as a bit of a forum. Like there's no such thing as a dumb question. Like they'll keep asking, where's the best place to like get sneaker cases, or how do I start buying? Even a question like, I'm in Melbourne, how do we get a Jordan 1? And like we might think that's a very silly question, but for someone who's just started, they really don't know. Like and so they get educated on that, and they work out like where to get kicks. And it's always really cool to see someone who actually posts up saying something like, oh, it's my first Jordan 1, or it's my first Jordan 4, or this shoe, that shoe. And it's just pretty cool to see them sort of actually enjoying what they wear on feet. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very diverse, group of folks in there, and as I was saying, we do try and keep it not toxic. With any hobby, when it comes to collecting, obviously you're gonna get all types. You're gonna get people in there, just to show things off. You're gonna get folks in there who are purists, only collect J's, or only collect X, Y, or Z. We got folks in the group who collect reps for instance. And we're the admin team, like we don't care, like wear whatever it is you want to wear, as long as it's there's no people getting bullied or smack talking too hard, then they're pretty much free to do what they want, talk about what they want and all that kind of stuff. And I'd say so far over the past couple of years it's been mostly drama free. But that being said, the other admins do pull their weight a lot more than myself. So they might have a different take because they deal with the issues a lot more than me. That's why I had to like put them on, and it's not like it's a my page thing, because it's not. It's our page, and like these guys work. They do more on it than I do. Obviously, Ollie's always posting up drops and all that kind of stuff. He's far more active than I am because I don't know. He just is.
That's why you made him admin.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. I look, honestly, because I basically get to work from home most of the time, I'm sort of just typing. I write kids' books, and it's always great for me to use as distraction / procrastination to glance over at the Facebook group and see what's going on and stuff. So it's pretty easy for me to do. So yeah. But I love the fact that if I'm busy or someone else is busy, someone else will pick up the slack and do it as well. So it's really cool having like 5 admins sort of doing things at various times. So, yeah. And
we're in a chat together too, and if anyone's sort of not sure of something, we kind of put it in there, and we've got our own like little forum that we can kind of go through stuff, or if there is dramas, we kind of come to an agreement about what steps we should take. And I'd agree with Johnivyn, for a group like that, that it is so diverse and it's been going for 2 years, there's been very few dramas. It really, there's nothing been major, which is good. It saves us a headache, and it lets us just enjoy what we love doing, which is collecting sneakers.
Yeah, I guess kudos to the members as well. Like they sort of like police themselves and try not to stir up things when posting or when replying to someone. So I think kudos to you guys approving those people joining as well. That doesn't cause any trouble or stir things up within the group, right? So I think that's good.
We've got a couple here and there. But we usually we're usually pretty quick onto it.
Yeah.
If there's any sort of sign of bullying or anything, it's pretty much a warning and you're gone. And like anything, like there's going to be a bunch of fake accounts on there that are just made relatively well, like easily enough for us to hit the accept button. They'll answer the questions. It'll be a few years old and things like that. And I've got no doubt there's a couple of resellers in there as well, just lurking.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Yeah,
but
they always come out when the raffle thread comes out, like and
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of all of a sudden they all come out with rights and stuff. So yeah,
certainly do.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe picking up some of the RAs as well.
yeah. But
Yeah,
we try to be careful with that.
I do always try and say, just I don't know, like alright, whoever you want, but if you can click on their profile and you see they're at least a little bit active, maybe they've liked a post here and there, and it's not just the only comment they've had in the last 3 months is saying, yeah, I'll take that RA, then
Yeah, and I
should be
think
fine.
going on from that, that's why we tell people that you have to post a non-fit pic if you're getting R8, because we want to know that it's going to someone who will wear it, basically. It's the only kind of sell thing we do, because we just feel like it's positive for the community as a whole. Retail and assisting, you're just helping out someone else if you doubled up or whatever, or you're not into it. So yeah, it's really important that people are posting on feet pics, so we know that it's going to someone who's not just going to flip it.
And we also do decline a few RA pics, RA posts, because sometimes folks cop something and they don't love them, like the Rebellionaires that I got. The guy got them, he's just like, man, I just don't like these. I was like, sweet, that is fine with me. But sometimes you might find that they are just trying to move things that they
Bricks.
Bricks.
So-called
Yeah.
bricks.
Exactly.
Bricks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
kind of disguise it as hey guys, just here to help everyone out, but they just want to didn't mean to buy 20 pairs of
Yeah.
the Halloween AF1s or whatever it was,
RA five
Exactly,
pairs
man.
or
Exactly.
something. Yeah. So how much of your time is taken like throughout the day? Like, is there a lot of activities in the group that you guys have to monitor, or lots of posts?
Ollie's probably the man to answer that. He does most of it.
Yeah. Look, some days like maybe like half an hour. Other days, it depending on like how much I get drawn into it. Like it could be like an hour and a bit. It really depends on what's dropping, or like if it's a weekend as well. So when there's like a hyped release, such as like Union Jordan 2s, or last year with the Travis Scott frags and all that kind of stuff, like then you'll get a lot of activity. They usually come with like things like this is dropping at this store as a raffle, and we've kind of streamlined a lot of that. So my time has sort of been less and less, because we've basically managed to make things a lot easier. So for example, we have like a thread where if any raffle drops or any release drops, you just put it there, so we don't have to approve that. So that's cool. And also like on feet peaks, like if you want to, there's a place to just show what you have on feet without having to get approval. So those kind of things help us as well. But I find that like it comes in waves. Like whenever there's like a big release on or a big occasion, then they all come out. But yeah, it's I would say about half an hour to an hour each day maybe.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you banned many members? Because I'm not aware, right? Like I've joined
Heaps.
Yeah,
maybe
a lot.
A massive amount.
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
Yeah, there is satisfaction giving them the boot, that's for sure.
Because sometimes I don't see the post, or I don't see the drama that was stared, but yeah.
Yeah, there's actually like I always try to like, especially if there's a post saying like who else copped, or like congratulations, you got a W, so they like to celebrate that W. That's cool. And then in between you see like want to buy or like want to sell or something like that. I look at it and they just get booted straight away, those guys. Yeah.
So resellers, really. The
Yeah.
usual
Resellers. They
resellers.
come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be that. Like, I'd say, look, very few people have been banned for being like, toxic or anything like that. It's mainly just, resellers, fake accounts, trolls, that kind of thing. But it'd be hundreds.
Oh, at least.
I have no idea how to find out exactly how many it is. I just tried.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you guys get a lot of complaints from members as well about someone or something? I know there's one topic that happened maybe a few months ago about reps and all of those things, but
That was a big drama. And I mean, I myself didn't even realize how kind of big it was because, because I don't post much and I'm not as active as Ollie, like he gets all the DMs. So it works out well for me because I don't have to deal with that, but then, he kind of puts it into the admin group chat and, brings the issue, I guess, to light to everyone else. And man, I had no idea that so many people were
we actually
feeling very strongly.
We had quite a few people leave the group over it, so
we did. Yes, there was a bit of an exodus. And I mean, I guess my response at the time was just like, fuck 'em, like whatever. But that was probably the biggest drama. And there's still a little bit of, I guess, smack talk and snide remarks here and there from some folks that just don't want to get along. Because we made, we collectively agreed to not allow any posts that involved, reps. Because we're like, look, we personally don't care. Not everyone is on the exact same kind of financial level. And we don't feel that means that everyone needs to be excluded. So if someone, likes a colorway, but they can't afford it, but they want to wear it, they buy a rep and wear it, like whatever, man, who cares? But obviously not everyone has that same sort of thought process. So there's, one member in particular was copping a bit of heat. And even though we didn't necessarily think it was, right to say, we're banning any more posts on reps, we did just kind of want to keep the peace. So, we made a decision to have no more of those posts, but, still free to use the page, still free to, post on feet pics and things like that.
Yeah, still, that's what we moved it to, because people were getting really mad about the comments that would go along with these posts. And again, like I'm with Johnivyn. It never really bothered me. I don't care. He was upfront about it, but if it, like, we got to think about the people that are getting upset as well, because they are part of our group, and that's a big part of our community as well. So that's why we made the decision just to say you can do what's on feed pics, and we'll just leave it at that. So I guess when the negative comments are following him there as well, that's kind of when we draw the line, I think.
Yeah, there's no need for any bullying. It is what it is, right? Yeah.
Look, for some issues you have to agree to disagree, I suppose, and I think for the most part most members get that. So I think it's been good for the most part. So yeah, that's
cool. I think I like that the decision making around it is really simple. Because there's obviously a lot of reason why people hate people posting those reps, and there's a lot of people that has their own obviously point of view regarding reps and why they're posting those reps. And from your perspective, that's very hard. Like, that's information that you have to sift through, and you guys seem to have found a way to just make a simple or a simplified decision around that matter, which is really good. Like,
because look, obviously on the other side of it, like, also we all collect sneakers. We've all had W's and L's and things like that. And I do get that, for some folks it might feel like, you've been trying to get this shoe for ages and you've been talking to this person, but they ghosted you when you're trying to get into a deal, and then you go through like the journey of getting the shoe. Like, it's not just having the shoe, it's also what you had to do to get it. And perhaps some folks feel like if someone's just ordering them from, I don't know, Alibaba or whatever, that it's kind of, and having something that looks pretty similar, because I tell you what, some of them is hard to tell.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, they've reached that level now where it is like,
yeah. So now, like,
so
I don't buy off pretty much anyone that I don't know, or unless it's off like StockX or Goat or something like that. Otherwise, I need to kind of know them or something. Otherwise, I don't risk it, because I've seen a couple. I'm just like, man, that is crazy. But anyways, I digress. So I think, kind of some folks feel like it takes away from their achievement, because it is, it can be an achievement to finally get a pair you've been chasing for ages. And then someone else has something that's the exact same that they spent $40, $50, how much ever it is, and so I get it from both sides.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like, there is the grail hunt, and then and then when someone does get those grail reps, I understand where they're coming from for the person that's gone through that. But I guess, you know, they know themselves that they've got the real deal, so they should just be happy with that. You know, that they did the hard yards. You know, I don't think they should be vindictive towards someone else who chose a different path, I guess.
And if they're upfront about it, for sure. Like, you know, if you're trying to like hide it away and like you know, be dodgy about it, like, oh, I hit this dub, like, yeah, cool. Then, you know, you're a dick. But, you know, if you're like, yeah, no, the reps are like $60, got here 3 weeks, you know, they kind of smelled a bit funny, but it's all good. Then whatever, man.
It is funny though, you're talking about, you know, how good the reps are these days, because I think last time I was on the podcast, I was talking about, you know, back in the day, you know, fakes were just so obvious, dude. Like the Jordans were fat, like there's colorways. The colorways don't exist, like, you know. So yeah, it's a different ball game with fakes these days.
Cool. Yeah, I think for me is as long as you don't sell reps as retail or you don't scam people, I think that's probably where I sort of
absolutely I mean, if we
scum move.
Absolutely. That's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, I think going back to my original point around that, it's probably just don't get preachy, and this goes for both sides, I guess. Like if you buy legit, don't be preachy about why you should go legit, and it goes the other way as well. If you buy reps, don't start preaching people to just buy reps as well.
100%. And one term I always hated, and I hate now still, is what do they call them? Not reps. What's the other word for them?
UAs.
UAs. So it's like so like unauthorized, right? So you know you're supposed to believe like you know some dude who's making you know X amount of shoes just kind of knocked out a couple of more pairs and he's selling them off. So it's an unauthorized. That's completely wrong. That's propaganda. There's no such thing, right?
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
So I hate that terminology because if you're coming into it and you know when you're new into the sneaker hobby and you hear that thing, you'd be like, oh, that's awesome, right?
Yeah,
it's like
it's
still a real
legit.
shoe. It's just you know not on the books.
Yeah,
so it's misleading as well.
This is probably a pretty controversial topic, but I think you know Nike really has to look at themselves in the mirror. You know when it comes to all of these fakes that are coming out now and them being so good. You know like they've had cheap labor in China for decades, and the fact that they got really good at making them, you know, they've only really got themselves to blame, you know, from outsourcing it. So, you know, that's a thing that Nike really has to look at, and you know, it's a byproduct of you know their business model.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and it's also this like you know, some people argue, oh, why don't they just release 1 million pairs? Or like millions of pairs and kind of like make it like the Air Force One or whatever and just make it so common. But then they also want to build up hype as well, and like Nike really love their hype as well. So there's nothing more satisfying than saying there's only 8,000 pairs of this and then just seeing people go crazy over them. So Nike need that sort of hype level, but it's a fine balance between like bringing up the hype but also making enough pairs for everyone. So yeah,
definitely. I mean, and like the Rebellion is I think a perfect example of that. You know. They had hype around them when people thought they were limited, but then when they found out they're not that rare, like, you know, people are like, bug them, you know, they're not that great. I think they're an awesome shoe. And,
they're pretty cool.
Like I said, I like them a lot more than I thought I would. So, you know, if they chose to go with that business model for everything, I'd be happy as, you know, as can be. But, I think, you know.
That's interesting, isn't it? Like, you know, how much do people like the product or do they like the hype? You know what I mean? It's kind of like this interesting battle. See, for me, I could give a fuck about the hype. You know, again, it's for me. I think I said this last time. It's just I only care about like what's on my feet, and you know, does it make me feel good? So you know, like I've always said, no one really cares about what you're wearing. Most of your friends, like I said last time, is you know, they've got 4 pairs of shoes. They think you're a fucking psychopath for having hundreds of pairs. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? So they don't give a shit. So it better be for you. You know what I mean? So, you know, I like the hype. I don't care. I'd prefer to just get my mitts on the pairs I like. You know, so I'd prefer if they just released, you know, hundreds and thousands of pairs of the ones they know that they're going to sell. Like, if they release the Chicago's later this year, bring them out like they did with the Space Jams when it was super available, like, or you know,
any
something
of the
like
Jordan
that.
11s, really. Like
Yeah,
when
it
it's,
needs to be like a holiday shoe. Like just make a
Yeah.
pairs, just bring them out.
Yeah, just make a shit ton,
Yeah.
because they'll sell them. Like, that's what I don't get with Nike sometimes. It's like, you don't need to do the hype thing for everything. Like, I get it, it's a marketing thing. You can do it with a few pairs, but like something like the Chicagos or the Breads, people love those shoes. Like, give the people what they want. That's my opinion.
the staples, really. They should
Yeah,
just
they're the staples,
keep
like
releasing them. Yeah.
Chicago's, Breads, Black Cement 3s, like, just keep re-releasing those. They'll sell every time, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think they do that because they can't keep up with making things interesting. And if it sort of like lulled a little bit, that's when they come out with, all right, we're gonna bring back the Chicago again. We're gonna bring back the Breads again.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so many different, options for color blocking on the J1 silhouette, right? There's only so many different ways you can color it before you kind of run out of options. And look, they've been keeping it going for a long time, since like 85 or whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
I think there's one concept that I've been hearing a lot about, like solving this scarcity issue, is pre-orders, right? If you're able to pre-order, and let's say the manufacturer can predict how much they need to produce, then it's better. Everyone gets a pair. So if 6 months down the line you get it, you pre-order it, then you're gonna get that pair, and it's not a raffle drop that you have to wait for. And do you guys think that will work though? Do you guys think that
It would work, but I don't think that's a model that Nike would do. I guess
No.
they tried it to some degree with the Dunk by You, and that was a shit show. Do you remember, when they first tried to do it, like, they instantly sold out, and people were trying to resell like ID Dunks, like, it's fucking mental.
with the
They're
colorway,
still
like
doing that. I see those things.
I know,
Yeah,
you're like, are you kidding me, man? You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think it's a good idea in theory. Nike won't do it as well because, the scarcity is fake, and they do that on purpose to, sell shoes. Like, it's a marketing thing.
Yeah.
So, it's not the pairs that they've only got 8,000 of that they're selling when they do that. It's all the staples that they sell more of to the people that do only. They're trying to sell shoes to the people that only have 4 pairs of shoes and think that we're fucking nuts. That's their market that they're trying to hit when they do the limited shit. So, yeah, those shoes, those sales, they don't really care about those sales. It's not much for them. It's the Air Force Ones that they want to sell shit. Or the Panda Dunks is a good example where everyone's buying those up. So they're the shoes they're really wanting to sell.
still up to this day.
And plus, like, I find that if you go to pre-order, like, I find that kind of similar to what Johnny said. Like, sometimes you need to see a pair in hand as well.
For sure.
And so let's just say if you did pre-order it, you get it in hand, you're like, oh, not what I expected, and then what kind of thing. So ideally, what would be great is that you could actually walk into a store and actually see it sit on the shelf and go, hold it, heaven forbid, try it on as well, like the olden days kind of thing. And that way is probably more ideal. That way you get a sense of the shoe and you can make a decision there and then. But because of raffles, you kind of get into this FOMO mode where you're like, oh, I just got into all the raffles, and then like hope you hit, but you either get 1 or you get like 10. And it's like, oh, okay, so it's crazy.
Yeah, and you have to be able to predict what's going to sell and what's going to not sell. If you're going for a shoe that, like a Brotherhood is a good example. Like, if you're entering raffles for that, you're going to win every raffle because they were sitting on shelves. So, you know what I mean? You got to have to be careful. Like, I think you have to know the market as well.
Well, that's where RA comes in as well, right? Like, for some reason, not everyone can still win the raffle, even though it's overstocked or it's not hyped. So.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be posting a Brotherhood RA. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, it goes back to the bricks. Like, so yeah, you just have to be careful.
Yeah, that's true. And again, going back to the previous one, I think it's Jordan 1 is starting to sit because there's just too many coming out, really, and you can't really tell which one will hit or which one will people go for. So
yeah, well, I think you can always guarantee the OG colorways will sell out. no matter what, or whenever they come out, they're always gonna sell out. But if it's something new like the Brotherhood, I mean, it depends on how many pairs they're releasing. But there's not that much interest in that, or like the Heritage, for example. You know, the Heritage was a funny one because it's same color blocking as the Travis Scott fragment, and they see it, you know, so it's interesting. That goes back to that hype thing that we were talking about before.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that to drop on Subtype because I have a voucher for a discount, and I'm hoping that will sit. So
under retail, Jordan 1, who would have thought?
Yeah. Under retail Heritage, that would be nice. But yeah, cool. I mean, going back to the dramas in the group, right? Like, is the main drama that happened really just around reps, or are there other dramas that has gone on that you guys can remember?
Yeah, no, there's been other dramas in the past. It's mostly around resellers and finding people in other groups, as well as ours that are reselling. You know, we're basically, and those sort of things happened very early on in our group's inception. That we were kind of to some degree anti-resell. We just didn't like the whole idea behind it, you know, making a bit of coin off the interest that we have in sneakers. It's not something that we're huge fans of. And so initially we definitely did have a few dramas around resellers coming into the group, and we just, you know, every now and then we'll do a bit of a cleanse. We'll find a post that seems to bring them out of the woodwork, and that's when we then we do a bit of a cull. So we do try and track them down, but I think that's probably the biggest one apart from the rep thing. I can't really
definitely.
Yeah, I can't think of any other dramas, to be honest, apart from that.
Yeah, there's been a couple of small minor disagreements here and there between a couple of members, and that gets brought to our attention, but mostly drama free. It's always going to be reps and resellers. The funny thing is, like, I mean, reselling's kind of always been a part of the sneaker game, right? Like, it has been. But I think just, as time's gone on and, technology's evolved, it's gone from, someone waiting outside a store and, paying a couple of his mates $50 to come do the same thing, and, hanging on to them for a few years and, reselling them, which is, whatever. You've put in the hard yards, you've done your workshop. But now, because it's, just all automated, some ratty teen sitting at his computer just buying every single pair that you can, it's different. Like, it's not reselling, it's scalping, right?
Yeah,
that's what
exactly
what
right.
you find that it is. They're just fucking scalping it.
Yeah,
and they sell like $20 fucking profit. Like, I wouldn't. If there was $20 sitting on the ground downstairs, I wouldn't take the elevator down to go pick it up. Like, why would you go to that much effort to buy it, get it, ship it, write up a label, go to the post office to make $20? Like, sure, man, you got like a hustle or whatever, but
yeah, they do the
your
hustle.
Time needs to be worth more than that. Your time needs to be worth more than that.
Yeah.
If that's all your time's worth, then shit, come work for me, man. I'll pay you a tiny bit more and get the same amount of hours out of you.
And I was just going to say to that, there's kind of like that is another side of it. I totally agree with what you're saying there, Johnivyn. Back in the day, people were lining up and investing, in a pair and holding them for 2 years. I think that is different if you sell it 2 years down the line. I don't have a huge problem with that. But yeah, I think with the whole botting thing, there was I felt like there was some glamour attached to it at some point. It made it cool to be a reseller because Benjamin Kicks made money. You know what I mean? Like, there was all these kind of stories.
I still don't even know who that is.
Ben Kicks? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've heard the name. It flies around and you see in resale pages this guy thinks he's the next Ben Kicks. I've never bothered Googling it. I'm just assuming he's a massive reseller.
Massive reseller. So he resells to a bunch of rap celebrities in America. So he's made millions, and he's just a kid. And so everyone think there's some a cool factor to being a reseller, but actually you're just a dog.
Pretty much.
Do you know what I mean? That's my view on it. It's just you're just botting up. It is scalping. You're basically trying to make money because other people have a strong interest in sneakers, and you're trying to make money off those people. which I like. It hurts my soul. Like, what can I say?
Same as those motherfuckers were flipping like the COVID test and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Toilet. It's the same shit.
Yeah, during COVID, like flipping toilet paper because no one can get their hands on it. That's like.
Seriously, mate. Use your pride.
Yeah.
With that little.
Yeah.
I think there's different levels of resellers as well, and I think the problem right now is like it feels like majority of them are not really sneakerheads, and I've made this point before, wherein I'm not totally against reselling, but if you're just flipping it, I don't consider you a sneakerhead, because you're putting value over the sneaker itself. What you value is the price of the sneakers and how much you can make money out of it, but not you don't appreciate the sneakers.
That's right.
You just appreciate the price of it. But there are actual resellers that actually have been in the game long enough. They're knowledgeable with sneakers. They know what they have in hand. They know how to sell properly, and I think those guys are fine. But I find that they're very, very rare nowadays.
For sure. And I mean, you're going to need those people, right? Because if you ever want that pair of 2015, Chicago ones, well, how else are you going to get them? If you're just getting the hobby now, it's like, oh, sorry mate, you missed the boat, you can't get them anymore. So you need them. But obviously with the page, because when it comes to like having, it's like, oh well, you can allow these kind of resellers but not these kind of resellers, it just gets too, you know what I mean, it just becomes too much work. So if you just put a blanket ban on it and the page isn't about that, then it's all good. It makes everyone's life a little bit easier.
Yeah, and I mean that's why when you go to like the buy sell pages, like they're the reason like those pages are so toxic. Like it's just comment after comment after comment. It's just like, oh my god, like get me out of here. Which is why I liked this group so much. It's just like, oh thank God, finally some respite from all of that shit. Like I don't have to worry about it. In this group, I can just say what's Oliver got on his feet today. Oh great!
What kind of wacky colors he has.
Yeah, I was gonna say some like Mr.
Kermit the Frog.
I was gonna say Mr. Potato Head forums with the giant teeth. I'm sure you're scaring this.
I couldn't do those ones.
I still haven't undressed those ones yet, so they're coming soon.
I find it scary that you write children's books. You scare the shit out of some kids with those.
Yeah, I was saving for when I do like a kindergarten talk and give them nightmares.
That would be great. Yeah, film that one for me, mate. Do your on feet with a few of them in the background crying. It'd be great.
I mean, do you guys have any plans in the future for the group, or you just let it grow as it is, and then like just keep that pure sort of like group of people sharing? And
it's a hard one, man. I mean, because obviously, me and the other admins, we've known each other to certain degrees for 2 years, and we always talk about things. We talk about setting things up, whether it's like a YouTube channel, just to like provide information and things like that to folks that want to use it. But I mean, it never really leaves the sort of talking, discussing a part of it. So probably not, but hopefully with like as a group, like as in like a direction that we're trying to head in it. We're not really trying to head in a direction, like as long as we sort of keep no sellers, no advertising or anything like that, which we try not to do, because we've had folks hit us up to ask to advertise on the page. They pay us like $500 if we run an ad for them or something like that, but it's not worth the page's, I guess, integrity, right?
yeah.
So plans, I don't know if the other boys are more, I guess, active or motivated than me to do something, then for sure I'd be keen to get involved, but I guess we'll see.
I think we just add things as they come up to, like things come up organically. Could be like stemming from a question from a member, like I think that's how Oliver's raffle posts came up, or we're obviously getting a lot of those, like how do I get these? So we just make a thread, and so I guess in that sense the page kind of grows organically. As far as plans go, not so much.
Yeah, I think it really depends how much effort and time you want to put into it, and I find that like if you want to do those next level things, then it will just take more time, and I don't know. I just feel like where it's at the moment is pretty good. Like I look to like older pages, like for example like the Kickstand, who's like probably the biggest sort of sneakerhead group on Facebook, and they do like, you know, competitions, they do all this other kind of stuff, and that's great and all, but that's actually someone behind the scenes taking all that time to actually do it. And I don't know, I just feel like I don't know if I could do it or like or basically for the admins can sort of come together and do it as well. So it's really depends, but I think we'll just keep it low key, and just if something sort of like, you know, Mika said, organic comes along, then we'll do it. But I guess one thing we might maybe do is like a comp of sorts, maybe like have a raffle or competition where like members can join in for a pair of kicks, but we still haven't worked out exactly what that might look like, but that's maybe a possibility.
Yeah, we need to actually hit some dubs first before we can
Yeah.
do any giveaways.
Or meetups, right? Because I think some of our members were doing shopping meetups and all of those things as well. So
Yeah, that's cool,
yeah. Actually, you know what? That's something that I really want to do, actually, because like I think like you Melbourne guys really know how to do it well. Like I think it helps that you guys probably have better sneaker shops and a better sort of like route as well. But I'd love to do like a Sydney version of that. It'd be really
You
cool.
can still do it, and I mean, like that's one thing I did set up in Melbourne too was the SneakerHeads weekly basketball game. That went on for about a year and a half. It's kind of dropped off a bit over the last couple of months. I think we've stopped kind of doing that. But and I was at the Melbourne sneaker meetup, so a lot of us know each other now. We all caught up again to go to the eBay museum.
eBay.
And so yeah, we're pretty good down here. I think the Melbourne chapter's a little pretty social, so it's nice. Yeah, I'd like to see the other states try and do those sorts of things as well. It'd be really cool.
That's it. I mean, you know, if the Brizzy people wanted to do something similar, I'd be down for it. I mean, I'm from Melbourne originally, and you know, coming here, there's obviously the sneaker culture is a lot smaller. Most people out here don't even wear shoes, as far as I can tell. But yeah, it'd be cool too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I think people are missing out. Well, sneakerheads are missing out a little bit with the Facebook group, because I still know other people that haven't even heard of the group. Or again, I'm biased because this is the first group that I've joined in, and since then, Instagram, even on other groups on Facebook, I find that it's generally toxic, or it's about one thing, or about just it doesn't have that kind of diversity in terms of the type of sneakerheads and the type of collectors that you get. And I feel like maybe this is to my 3 to 5 listeners and viewers, maybe you should check out our group, SneakerHeads Australia.
Yeah. Come and join us and answer the questions properly, please. Don't like just put up random stuff. Like, I mean, half the fun is just like looking through these responses. Like, you know, what's your favorite Jordan? Asics. I'm like, okay. Or
Yeah.
the blue one.
The blue ones, that was a good one.
The blue,
You know, man, I appreciate that. I like the blue ones as well.
yeah, the blue ones are dope though.
Or the ones who are like they do want to join us, and they read the line about like they don't want to resell, but their line actually says resell Oz or something like that. It's like, it's like no, you guys are definitely resellers, so yeah, decline.
Cool. I mean,
Yeah.
with the group as well, right? Are you guys able to see what the trends are? I mean, like are you able to predict, right? Like where the sneaker culture is going based on the activity of the group or the type of people in the group? Or is it not that big enough yet to have that sort of like kind of predictions?
And I'm happy to answer. I don't think so. I mean, you know, look, we do have a very diverse cross section of members, but I think, look, I've just been in the sneaker game a long time, so I can kind of predict it from that. But even from being in it so long, I struggle. So yeah, having the cross section of people from our group, I don't know. From what I've seen, I can't. Maybe Johnivyn has a different opinion.
Me? Predict? No. Hell no, man. Like I said, I'm probably the least active out of anyone and everyone. So I just see a shoe I like, I buy it. If I had to speculate, shit, man, I don't know. Like, they're gonna, because I mean, like, the prices of some of these kicks are pretty wacky, right? Like, in the sense that I understand, when it comes to something like a Red October, right? Like, it's, when Kanye collabed with Nike, it's a massively like collectible shoe, so it's worth a shitload of money. But like the resale prices of things that drop like so recently, like the Trav Frag ones being like $6,000. Well, that shit dropped a few months ago.
Well, the Dior's, like the Jordan 1 Dior's that went straight to 15,000 like a month later.
Let's not talk about those.
13K, 14K. Oh man.
15, I'd say. Yeah, 15.
So do you guys think it the culture will be able to
wow.
sustain that, or?
I think so.
I hope it doesn't turn into something like.
But yeah, those Travis Frags.
Like the watch collecting culture. So that's.
What were you gonna say, Oliver?
Yeah, I was gonna say
I think
those
Oliver's
Travis
lagging right now.
Those Travis
you might be.
Frag highs were just like a total circus when it came to that drop, and like it's a miracle that I managed to get. That's probably will be the biggest W I ever got. But I mean, who would know like how hype runs these days? Like it's just like
mate.
We really don't know. Like I mean, I do listen to a lot of YouTube, like SneakerHeads and sneaker YouTubers and stuff, and they might predict what's gonna happen, but no one really has any idea, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is determined on the company themselves. Like, how many pairs are they going to release? Is it a collab? Like, we know they get more interest when it's a collab. Or are they going to release them like the Rebellionaires, where everyone can get a pair? If so, the hype's not going to be there. So, it's not so much based on, what we see the members doing. It's more based on what we think the companies will do. And that kind of brings it.
And that's fair. I mean, I hope it doesn't sort of take the kind of, I guess the term like the watch collecting community has, because I collected watches for a lot longer than sneakers, and it's just like it is just the worst community to be part of. Like everyone there loves the smell of their own farts and drinks their own cum. I can only imagine. Sorry, you can edit that out if that's not a nice thing to say. And that's why I like sneakers so much. Because man, this community is awesome. And then hopefully it just kind of remains that way and heads in that direction and doesn't take the path of collecting timepieces, because I still like doing it, but my involvement in the community is minimal because it's just full of pretentious wankers, mate.
Well, I think too that comes down to how much is spent on it, and how much of a flex is it. And I think also the growth of the interest in sneakers. So it's grown a lot, especially like you mentioned, things like Last Dance. Companies starting to do collabs and more limited sneakers has really grown the population of people who are interested in sneakers. It wasn't like this, even 5 years ago. And with that, it can turn it into a bit of a shit show. When you get more people involved, it can make it worse. So yeah, it's just something to keep an eye on. I don't see it declining.
I find that collabs are a bit of a gateway into the world of sneakers. Like for me, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I got into sneakers via the Adidas Star Wars collabs back in like 2011. And so I find that collabs are really great for people to sort of dip their toe into the world of like sneakers, and then if they want to stay there, that's great. But if they want to be that person that has just 4 pairs and 4 pairs only, that's great as well, because there's so many different level of sneakerheads. And I find that like one of the good things about our group and also sneakers in general is that there's just so many brands, so many colorways, so many models. Like there's plenty to go around. Like, I think someone recently posted up something where like they couldn't get the Jordan 4's Guavia Ice pair, so they got like another pair from New Balance, but there was quite a similar colors, but it still works. So it's like, if you like the colors, just get a different model. It's easy as.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what will happen too, is that people will look more at those brands like Saucony or New Balance, Diadora, because you know the quality of those sneakers is really, really, really good, and so and much more accessible. And so I think if you know for those people that are into sneakers for the quality and you know different aesthetics, you know there's other places you can go. So you know that could be where it's trending.
Yeah, I think the problem right now is that collabs are becoming the norm now. Wherein like every week you get a collab pair. I mean, if it gets to that point, are they even special anymore? Because like
I think
from what I understand, like a few years ago, collabs are very rare, and it's only with certain shops or certain celebrities. But now I feel like every brand every week has a collab coming out, and yeah.
I think there'll always be collabs. I just think some collabs will have more hype around them than others. Like I think the Billie Eilish line that came out is probably a good example. There's there's no hype around it. No one cares because the shoe's ugly. You know, I think that's what'll happen. You know, if you know Travis Scott does something, then people are going to jump on it. You know. So kind of it'll just depend on, you know, it's case by case. I think there'll just be more and more collabs and more companies getting involved with the collabs, because it's a good marketing scheme for the sneaker companies.
Yeah, but do you reckon that?
I was just saying, like, you know, speaking from like a geeky sneakerheads perspective, like someone who came, you know, through pop culture, like even I'm passing up on like some pop culture collabs. Like there's like sneakers with like Flintstones, Jetsons, like just random, just I don't know why, like, and they don't look that good. I feel sorry for all the Naruto fans out there because, you know, they had this hyped up Naruto Jordan Zion collection and they're just not great. They're a bit underwhelming. That said, on the flip side, everyone is going crazy for Hello Kitty Prestos, which are dropping this Tuesday, and so it's just like it really depends, like Micah said, on what's hyping and what sort of brings more attention. Yeah.
I think there's so much hype going on about that Hello Kitty right now, and then they'll realize that there's
I think it's
like
because of the story.
Of pairs to go around.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now.
I think
I'm not into
story
it.
was that only 12 were made of the original Hello Kitty Prestos, and so they were just basically grails. But this one's a bit more GR, but you know, I've been to a couple of raffles. Hopefully I don't end up with like 17 Hello Kitty Prestos.
Yeah, well, I think they're full size run, and every store seems to have them coming out. So I reckon there's a lot, and I'd be laughing my ass off for resellers that are gonna try and bot them and cop as many as they can. Because I don't know, I don't think it will be hype shoes. Maybe because I'm not into it, but yeah, so crazy.
I haven't actually seen them.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Do they look? They look alright.
Yeah,
or?
they are. Actually.
They're wearable.
Yeah, sky blue.
They're wearable, but I don't.
Yeah, sky blue.
Depends on your style, though.
Are small enough where from a distance you can't really tell, so it's subtle.
Yeah, but you get Hello
That's
Kitty
true.
space on the heel side.
I'm not a big fan of the Presto.
Never really been my thing, Hello
Yeah,
Kitty.
I'm not a
but
big fan
we'll
of the Presto color, like the Presto model in itself. So that's kind of putting me off a bit. Yeah.
The silhouette. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think Micah's still off, but I'll probably just start asking the last question, and then I'll let you guys go, and because it's getting late as well for every one of us. But I mean, anything you guys are looking forward to getting this year? I mean, is there one particular release that you're really waiting for? Johnivyn?
Man, I'd love to be able to answer that, but I gotta be honest with you, like my keeping up with it, I get is terrible. Okay, like keeping up with what's coming and all that sort of stuff is absolutely shocking, especially for someone who created the page and you know what, I miss a lot of raffles because of it. Like I'll see like people showing these like awesome kicks, and then I'll hop on. I'm like, oh, the raffle's already gone. The raffle's already gone. So it's my own fault for being, I don't know, busy, lazy, call it whatever you want. So to answer your question, I don't even really know what's coming out this year. I just I see them, if they get posted on the page and I see they're upcoming, then awesome. But I'm definitely terrible at keeping up to date with what's coming. I have no idea.
I'm guessing it's just gonna be the reimagined Chicago that would interest you.
Well, I copped a couple of those already like a sucker without remembering. So I completely forgot that they were getting re-released until you guys mentioned it on this, on this podcast. So that's my bad. I should at least wait until I had my heart broken.
Well, it's a good thing they were all sort of
there,
soulmates and they were all size 10.
Cool.
So, you never know. Yeah, you never know. Could be an RA.
Oh yeah.
Ah, how good's that? Yeah, I mean, I got my Lightning 4s.
Yeah.
And
RA
Bordeaux
from Old Man Sneaks. I love them. An awesome
So
kick.
comfy.
So many people hate them, and I'm like, you're insane.
I would have kept them, but I think that was that 1 month where I went overboard with my purchases and okay.
And
if
the
I
wife's
need,
gonna.
If I need to get rid of one, which one will it be? And then, all right, hey Johnny.
Well, that's how I got the purple MB01s, because Zach bought the entire collection and his missus was like, that's not happening, mate. And she's like, you get rid of them now or you're single. So, so we put them out. I was like,
he was
hell yeah, I
allowed
like
to
those
pick
purple
one,
ones.
and he picked the Rick and Morty's. So
Cool.
Good call. Yeah.
The Rick and Morty's, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
That's a good pick.
Look,
What about you, Ollie? Anything you're
it's hard
looking
to say
forward
because
to?
all these sneaker websites Hypebeast Sneaker News will talk about the hype Jordans, the hype Yeezys. But for me, because I like pop culture stuff, they don't really start the campaign until maybe 2 months before it comes out. So I really don't know. So I mean, there could be a really cool Zelda shoe sneaker coming out this year. There could be a cool another Mario collab, another Star Wars collab. I'm not too sure. So it's one of those things where if I see them on sneaker news or whatever, I'll post it up and say cop or drop and let people know. So I'm looking forward to be surprised. In terms of all the hype releases, I wouldn't mind getting a pair of Chicago ones because it'd be cool to get a timeless pair. And also, I'm really keen to have a look at what the Armand Manier Jordan 2s are, because I really would love to just get the 1, 2, 3, and yeah, and of course Nike SB as well. Nike SB brings so many things. The Bart Simpsons are pretty cool. They've got fruity flavored Nike SBs coming out, so they're also something that I'm really keen as well, but not really keen to pay resale for. So hopefully just get a couple of raffles wins. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think knowing most of the guys' habits, we went a little bit crazy last year with the cups, and everyone seems to be cutting down this year a little bit. So.
I've been trying to, but no, it's just I think
cool.
we're already failed.
Yeah, I've failed already. I mean, if you've seen, I was telling myself 2 a month, maximum of 2 pairs a month, and it's crazy. When I look at all the boxes here,
Never works.
From January, it's not really that cool. All right, well, I don't know where Micah went. Unfortunately, we lost him. If you guys are still listening, thank you for again coming back to the podcast and listening to these boys talk about running the FB group. And it's been great talking to you guys. I had fun. I got a lot of info about the group that I'm in. It's always good to know what goes on behind the scene as well.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
So
Thanks
yeah,
for having us on.
thank you very much.
Thanks for having us, man.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
buddy. Talk soon.